You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Ever since switching to T-Mobile, something weird has been happening. I get to cut lines.
Oh, right this way.
Who, me? I can stream shows at 30,000 feet. And I was able to buy reserve tickets for my favorite band.
It's not just you. With T-Mobile, everyone can get VIP status. That means access to exclusive events and experiences just for being a customer. At T-Mobile, VIP means Y-O-U. Check out the VIP treatment at T-Mobile.com/benefits.
You know that sound. It's the sound of money hitting your Venmo account. A friend paying you back. Or maybe it's getting cash back from your favorite business when you pay with the Venmo debit card. Or it's realizing you can pay with Venmo at checkout at thousands of brands. Now, there are so many more ways to answer the question, what's your Venmo? Download Venmo today. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh Cashback terms apply.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings.
Why are you listening to this show?
The podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
We've done some digging, some reporting. We called the Cowboys. Meadowlark Media did some work here. What happened, Billy?
I thought you knew when the game was.
Right.
That reporting I have not done yet.
What about Jimmy Butler?
I have not done Jimmy Butler reporting either. I'm waiting for things to get more interesting.
They're not interesting enough?
No, I mean, they're going to keep getting more interesting. I mean, we're going to have a week of escalation, are we not? Like, that's going to bear monitoring pretty, I think. I think there are likely to be sparks any day because they're fighting in public in a way that is needed in order to get the separation that you want. But Jerry Jones has been for years now saying a phrase that I don't think he knows what it means. And we've called the Dallas Cowboys and we've asked behind the scenes anonymous sources, and they've told us, look, everyone's too afraid to correct him. They don't want to correct him, and he doesn't know what he's saying here, and this is just what he says. And so you tell me whether someone with the Dallas Cowboys should correct Jerry Jones because of how he keeps saying this. He's been doing this for years.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage.
A very low percentage.
Wow.
He doesn't know what it means, right? Like what, or does he know what it means? And he's just out here saying, you know what? I'm all about the glory hole and I don't care who knows it.
I mean, he's like 80-something, right? Like, there has to be a different meaning that he knows.
Well, can
from
you
like
find
80? Well, no, I'm not Googling that.
Someone please find this for us. Do some reporting. Let's play some more sound here of Jerry Jones. Doesn't seem to know what this phrase means, or does he know more than the rest of us?
For me, it's a reminder. I, too, have been here 23 years. And it is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
Whoa! There has to be hunting or something here, right?
The rough times that you have with sport, everybody has it. Everybody, you can't really play unless you have some hard times. But it is the absolute glory hole to have that elusive win to be the champion.
Greg Cody, are you hearing all of this for the first time? You are laughing as
Yes.
if you're hearing it for the first time.
I am. I am hearing this for the first time. This is why the Director of Media Relations was created. The whole job exists so you can tell somebody like Jerry Jones, hey, Jerry, Google glory hole and never say the phrase again in public.
Greg, back in your day, did it mean something different?
It meant exactly what I think it means now.
Well, but I think there's
Dan, I went to gloryhole.com.
Oh no.
Don't go there.
All right, so here's the deal on this, because this is uncomfortable. But at some point, I'm assuming that there's some people in our audience who don't know what a glory hole is. I'm also assuming that everyone in our audience who does know somehow learned one day what that was, in whatever fashion it is that you learned that. How does he not know that at 80? And is there a 10-year difference in where it is that this expression would live, that Greg Cody roars with laughter every time Jerry Jones says it, but Jerry Jones is 10 years older than Greg Cody, and to his people, the 80-year-old demo, we sound like fools right now, as they're like, no, you fools, glory hole just means glory. That's how we used to say it before we took away the hole. There has to be an explanation for this.
It dates back to digging for gold.
So, so that the expressions he's making is about money, and he's going to keep doing it that way. He's going to just keep talking about it's not all smiles and money, or you putting your penis through a wall in a men's bathroom.
What?
What?
You guys ever heard of the sushi glory hole? Imagine that.
What?
It's an SNL thing.
Nice.
It's an SNL video.
What?
Really funny.
Really good.
Really good.
Lonely Island.
Greg, Jerry Jones running the Cowboys at this point, running the Cowboys this way at this point, rewarded at every turn, not with wins and excellence, but with a relevance that's always in play, because it doesn't matter like this when the Jags hire a nobody, or when anybody, or this franchise still matters somehow, even though it's not actually excellent. It's more watched than any of the franchises. It's more talked about than any of the franchises. It's more valuable than any of the franchises.
It's crazy.
He's the most powerful man in the sport, even though he doesn't win anything. He's keeping Robert Kraft out of the Hall of Fame. He's keeping Robert Kraft out of the Hall of Fame.
No, he's the most powerful owner in the NFL, I think. And they're still America's team 30 years after their heyday.
Yeah.
They own a niche with the New York Yankees and very few other franchises in all of sports. They're unbeatable. No matter how much they lose, they're the Dallas Cowboys. They're always going to be the most valuable franchise. Always. I don't know why, but Jerry Jones realizes that. And quite frankly, if I was a billionaire who owned a pro franchise, you'd have a tough time keeping me away from a microphone. I think I would. I'm surprised there aren't more owners like Jerry Jones.
Right.
I'm surprised he's the anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're kind of the freaks now, because I'm reading about the previous meaning of the word glory holes, and it's a remnant of 1930s Depression era mining, and it kind of makes sense because that's sort of the world he grew up in.
Who would have thought, in an exchange of Jerry Jones and us, we'd be the sickos?
But still. If you're the media guy for the Cowboys,
you have Jerry listening to that guy.
You just say, "Hey, Jerry, just so you know, this has another meaning."
It's also oil. He's like, "I know oil," and it's like, "No, Jerry, not that one either."
We're not gold prospecting anymore.
Okay. I mean, to make sure I wasn't wrong, I did Google glory hole.
Oh, good. What'd you find?
And what comes up is what we all
went
think.
to that site.
What do we think?
No, I just Googled the phrase.
Show Dan. Turn that computer
Glory
on.
hole.
What happens?
Let's not do that.
What's the
Okay.
first link?
Let's not do that.
A glory hole is a hole in a wall or partition, often between public lavatory cubicles or sex video arcade booths and lounges for people to engage in.
What was that sound?
Yeah.
It's what it said.
It was, a bad word being
That's what the
bleeped by
Sims
me.
say when they do it.
Yeah.
Self-bleeping.
Is hole the funniest word? That's just a regular word.
Huh. Greg Cody, I'm going to play for you here, and this is I'm going to need, if I may, because you've been carrying us for a while, and you are allowed to be sluggish after carrying us on Sunday, cracking open Miller Lights and carrying our whole Sunday live stream. But I have proof now that your Zagak, which used to be delivered with luster and is one of your signature sayings.
Sure,
it's
Zagaki.
People come out here, and on Tuesdays, if they get one or two of your signature phrases, it's a wonderful day for them. They're looking for it. Here is how you delivered your signature Zagak.
Dolphinland.
Zagaki.
Dolphinland.
Zagaki.
Zagaki.
Exactly.
Dolphinland.
Sounded good to me.
That sounds lazy.
good to you?
I got to be honest.
Sounded good to me. Exactly.
Dolphinland.
Zagacki. You come right back with Zagacki because you can feel how.
Does
poorly
Joe
you sound.
Zagacki hate us? Does Joe Zagacki
Yes,
hate our
I did
show?
reporting on
Doubt.
this. Yes, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Dolphinland.
Zagacki.
Okay, so wait. All right. So guys, please find for me the photo of Joe Zagacki.
Well, how is this going to help?
It's not.
Let's find it.
This
he
is,
hates us. It's
well,
okay.
look.
Right.
If we're going to have minor funny beef with somebody in local celebrity, Joe Zagacki is a legend and a worthy foe. He is a University of Miami icon. He is somebody who has been a media person in this market who has been successful and high-end integrity for 40 years.
Yeah, survived a plane crash.
Zagacki.
Wow. Really?
Just as an aside, yeah.
Go on.
He's a good guy. I mean, who hated what I did was Eric Reed hated it when I used to make fun of him and do an impression.
Yeah.
He came up to me once
Wasn't
on
happy,
a
yeah.
road trip. Not real thrilled about that. Yeah.
Yes, that's bringing it back to another beef you have, but the one that we're talking about right now with Zagacki. Mike Ryan told me he got Mike Ryan's a very big University of Miami fan. Joe Zagacki's the voice of the University of Miami sports, has been for many years. And when Mike Ryan pulls up next to Joe Zagacki at UM games, he feels the ice. He feels, just because our show has made his name something that echoes throughout Miami. He should be, I think, he should be grateful that we are living in support and service of his local celebrity, and we are helping boost the Zagacki brand.
That's quite the spin we're putting on what we do with Joe Zagacki, especially when you have the Joe Zagacki who gets very political at times, and you guys just make a joke of Joe Zagacki at every turn possible.
Yeah, but it's fun.
In honor of him, apparently, because he's a great guy who survived the plane crash.
Because of how ridiculous it is to have that particular character, a lovable local icon who survived the plane crash, having strident political opinions. It's absurd. It's satire. No one would think of Zagacki that way. He's clearly not that. He's the opposite of that. We're doing satire.
Well, I mean, people that don't know who he is may not know that. Now, I have a question for you, Greg. You said survived the plane crash, then you said great guy. Now, if you didn't think he was a great guy, would you change your tune on the whole plane crash situation? Because it seemed like you were happy because he's a great guy.
I think anyone who survives a plane crash becomes a great person.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I do.
Even if you're a bad person to begin with,
well,
huh?
I would make an exception to that.
Really?
like
Really?
if I don't want.
Didn't Ric Flair survive a plane crash?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we
there
saying
you
he's
go.
not a great person? Hold on. For the record, Greg Cody : Ric Flair is not a great person.
You know what? I'm with Greg on this. I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you're guilty, I'm not going to be an absolutist
Hold on
about
a second.
this.
Well, let's hear Greg's stance.
Right.
Simply that until I survive a plane crash, I have nothing but respect. What are you doing in the plane? Well, other people are panicking. You're doing something different. You got an angle going. You're burying your head a little more.
Right.
You've
You're
got some
shoving somebody
secrets.
else out of the way.
You've got a survivor's secrets.
Who knows what goes on inside a plane?
Can't even imagine.
Plummeting
Right.
to Earth.
Yes.
And so Zagacki can live to tell the tale. Now, granted, it was a small plane in his case. It's not like he's in a Boeing 767.
Well, that's more impressive.
Do it in a big plane.
Yeah.
Is what
Do
you're
it in
saying.
a big plane.
Yeah, right.
The survivor of a big jet airliner accrues more credit from me than the survivor
Makes
of
sense,
a small plane crash, quite frankly.
Jessica, why are you rolling your eyes at Greg Cody? Is it your love of flight? Is it your obsession with?
Now I'm Googling, did Hitler ever survive a plane crash to try to get Greg, and I don't know how I ended up here.
Okay.
Were there planes back then?
Worst people to survive plane
war.
crashes.
Yeah.
Yes, there were planes when
planes.
Hitler was around.
Famously,
they were
famously,
biplanes,
there were
weren't
planes
they?
during World War II.
Yeah, no, they were biplanes, I think.
Zeppelins.
Yeah, Led Zeppelins. No, if Hitler survived a plane crash, I would make an exception to that.
Okay, wait a minute.
All right,
Wait a minute.
For the record, let's write that down.
That's the exception to the exception. You already made an exception, and that's the one time Hitler. Come on. Get this together. The exception is fair, and I think we'd all buy it. not being absolute about it necessarily, case by case basis, depending on now and future Hitlers.
Hold on. You wouldn't say he was a good guy, but you respected him more because he survived a plane crash.
Zagacki, you mean?
No.
I thought you were agreeing with Billy.
It was confusing.
For TSA.
Don't say yes here, Greg.
It was confusing. All right.
Don't say
If you survive a plane crash, you deserve a little bit of credit. You've done something
Agreed.
that most
Unless you're
other
Hitler.
people
Agreed.
don't do.
You know what? Hold on a second.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions on Hitler.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
See, now you got
Dangerous.
carried
Dangerous.
away. No,
You did that to a
you know
plane
what?
crash
No,
survivor,
you know
guys.
what?
Come
You know
on.
what? You know what?
Minor penalty, 2 minutes, stumbling.
I'm sorry. Don't. Zagak was not welcome there. Not there. Be more careful, all of you. All of you, be more careful. Okay, this isn't a Joyland playground. I want to start with his original exception, which is, if you survive a plane crash, are the people listening to this willing to forgive previous crimes on a person to merely say out loud, even if it's a lie, good guy, good person?
I have something. If you survive a plane crash, all parking tickets go away.
What?
All unpaid parking tickets you're clear.
There should be a bonus. Chris is right.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like enough, though.
It doesn't seem like enough. It should be part of a package, a Skeens package.
What if you have no outstanding parking tickets? I mean, you're talking about future parking tickets as well?
And you can just park wherever you want.
Then you get a $200 gift card from the airline.
$200.
If you have no unpaid parking tickets.
If I
It's
almost
not
crashed,
$200.
if I almost crashed in an airplane crash, and the airline's like, "Here's a $200 voucher," I'd be like, "Do you think I'm ever flying on your airline again? Like, get out of here, $200 voucher."
I get $200 when they lose my luggage.
You can't even get a flight for $200.
Chris Cody started the bidding here very low on what a human
a lot
life.
of people on a plane, guys.
But also,
I mean,
like, what an airline would offer.
Here.
It goes above the airline, because when you survive a plane crash, you are no longer a human being. You become supernatural. You become a superhero.
You're right.
To the degree that I think anyone who survives a plane crash should immediately become a cardinal in the Catholic Church.
I mean,
Wow.
Okay, because you become.
What if it's not their religion?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You
matter.
You get to
become
elect
like a
the Pope,
deity.
Dan.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Catholics
Well,
need all the help they
What
can
if
get.
a Jew survives a plane crash? Then?
Well,
I
you
mean,
know, he becomes a
Rabbi?
a
All
rabbi.
Change
right.
from within.
All right.
Hey there, wellness warriors. If you're like me, you've given a lot of thought to how to improve your health and wellness routine this year. I've started stretching more, do a little mindfulness and meditation every day, try to clear my mind, make my body feel right. Take your health routine to the next level with the magic of contrast therapy. Meet our new amazing sponsor, Redwood Outdoors. They're making it easy to bring the benefits of saunas and cold plunges right to your backyard. A Redwood Outdoors backyard sauna seats 2 to 8 people, where you can relax, unwind, and enjoy all the benefits like reduced muscle tension, improved sleep, and glowing skin. And it doesn't stop there. Redwood Outdoors' invigorating cold plunge helps to boost circulation, sharpen your focus, and leave you feeling absolutely revitalized. Whether it's detoxing deeper, reducing inflammation, or connecting with loved ones in moments of peace, Redwood Outdoors has you covered. Enhance your physical and mental wellness routines with Redwood Outdoors. Take advantage of special savings today. Visit redwoodoutdoors.com, use code DAN to save $175. That's redwoodoutdoors.com, code DAN to save $175 on your order. redwoodoutdoors.com, code DAN.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was dealing with piles of paperwork and frustrating forms, and then waiting and wondering and worrying if you were going to get any money back. Now Taxes is easily uploading your forms to a TurboTax expert who's matched to your unique tax situation, an expert who's backed by the latest technology, which cross-checks millions of data points for 100% accuracy. While they work on your taxes, you get real-time updates on their progress, and then you get the most money back, guaranteed. All while you go about your day. No stressing, no worrying, no waiting. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Hey, howdy, listener. Why don't you sit down here next to me? Let's have a fireside conversation in the winter. This is all theater of the mind anyways. If weather outside is a little chilly, let's warm up. Let's cozy up. Not just to each other, but also to that beautiful white can of Miller Lite. That's right, make these moments even better with Miller Lite, the great-tasting light beer for people who love beer. A new year is a perfect time for friends, family, and great-tasting light beer. Tastes like Miller time. You know, as the football games get bigger, everybody's talking about hosting parties. It's always difficult. Everyone's got an opinion. Why don't you just bring out a nice cooler of Miller Lights and make everybody happy? You could be on opposite sides of the big game, but you still know that you are brought together by Miller time. Miller Lite is a great unifier. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. The original light beer since 1975 and still the very best one. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Don Batard.
Baker Mayfield tearing up Tampa Bay, 38 for 45.
Stugats.
Shred 'em!
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugats.
Dianna Russini is there. She is ready. She is willing to join us. Can you get me some celebrities who have survived plane crashes? Ric Flair tests our theory right away. Ric Flair, but are we forgiving previous crimes because plane crash survived? I'll allow it. What else we got?
I have a list here of 7 celebrities that have survived plane crashes. Number 7, Sandra Bullock.
What?
Really?
Cardinal Bullock.
Huh?
Good woman.
Number 6, Post Malone. Wow. Number 5, Barack Obama.
What?
It's the whole thing with Air Force One.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Number 4, Travis Barker. That one's famous. Number 3, Jennifer Aniston.
Wow. Really?
Number 2, Harrison Ford. And number 1, Bono.
Wow. How about that? Rabbi Bono.
Dianna Russini is there now. She's looking at her phone. She cannot stop looking at her phone. The news is going fast and furious.
New hair?
It is not new hair. What? No, it's
looks different this week.
It does not. It does not. It looks
2 weeks in a row.
What do you mean? It looks wonderful. What are you guys doing? Why are you putting your hand over
We're
your face?
not saying it doesn't look good. We said she looks great. You're saying it. Right.
Good hairdo.
Right.
Dianna, give me what you're finding most interesting about the football news. We've got to get right to it with you because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, this is hotel hair. So I'm in Mobile, Alabama. I'm sitting on the floor of my hotel room right now joining you guys because you've got the Senior Bowl this week. Do you guys know what that is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, say hi to Riley Leonard for me, Dianna.
Oh. So, yeah, it's I was actually just looking at the map. I didn't realize we were so close to the water. I just assumed I was like in the middle of America. I don't often take a look at where I'm actually going and thinking about it. But yeah, I'm here. It's great. A lot of Italians in Mobile.
Really?
So,
Dianna, hold on a second because I'm seeing sweep through the room there what looks to me from where I'm looking a whole bunch of people who have realized that Obama wasn't actually in a plane crash.
Well, he's on this list. In 2008, he was aboard a plane that was involved in an on-the-ground collision with another plane.
Yeah,
this is not a plane
doesn't
crash.
count.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically,
Gotta be in the air.
Technically crashed.
It's a fraud.
Gotta be in the air.
Terrifying.
Fraud claim.
30,000 feet.
That is a crash.
How do you not
What
see
else
the
would
other
you
plane?
call it?
It's like,
What
oh, look,
else
there's
would you
another
call
plane
it?
right
That's a
there.
You didn't survive
That is a
anything.
plane
Bender.
crash.
That's
It's-
probably an air traffic control issue. They're
It is a
probably
plane
telling
crash.
one to go one way and the other to
What
go the
else?
other
It's
way.
a plane accident.
That's
It's a
ridiculous.
plane.
Insurance
He did
fraud.
survive. A plane collided with another
please, I
plane.
don't
That's
hear
it.
that.
If you drive into a parked train, you
Right.
haven't been involved in a train wreck.
Yeah, you haven't been hit by a train.
Put it on the poll.
Do it at 30,000 feet.
At Lebitard Show. If you drive into a parked train, have you been
Do it at 30,000.
Hold on. Have you been in a train accident?
Train wreck is better.
Train wreck. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also, hey, train, do it at 30,000 feet.
Plane, yeah.
At Lebitard Show.
Ridiculous conversation.
That is correct.
To the Senior Bowl.
You okay, Greg?
Dianna, I don't like
Mobile.
you. I don't like you being there. I think that you've gotten to a place in your career where you shouldn't have to go there, even with all the relationship building. I don't think that's a good job for you. I think it's beneath you.
I don't think so. I disagree with you. I like coming down here because it's actually a pretty laid back environment where you have a lot of the scouts and coaches and general managers kind of just hanging out in their workout gear, watching practice with nothing to do all afternoon. So this is actually a busy few days for me to just catch up with everyone, kind of discuss what their plans are here for the offseason. We've got obviously free agency coming up here. They've got the combine in a few weeks. So it's actually a convention of the losers, right? Because none of the teams that are actually playing this weekend, their people aren't here. It's like there's no one from the Chiefs here. There's no one from the Eagles. This is all those that are now the ones that have moved on and are already looking forward to next season. So while I think traveling and having to, stop in 2 different cities just to get here is beneath me, because I just don't like doing any of that. I do like being here. So.
But from a professional standpoint, you like it because this is where relationships are strengthened. This is where relationships are made for you, correct? You have time to talk to some of these GMs, correct?
Yeah, before I came back to my room here to join you guys, I was having breakfast with a couple scouts, and they were like, so, like, do you bring a notebook to practice and, like, just, like, keep track of what players are doing? I'm like, What? I don't even watch practice. What are you talking? I'm on TikTok the whole time for like the 2 hours those guys are out there, because I'm really just waiting for all the agents and the GMs and the coaches to wrap up from what they're doing, so I can talk to them about usually what they saw, what they like, which players stood out, and really, as much as this is about like the theme here and the feel here is it's about these upcoming players. No one's really focused on that. Everyone is talking about what's coming up next, and obviously everyone's talking about the Eagles and the Chiefs still.
Can we play some sound for Dianna of new Jags coach Liam Coen here? You tell me here as we go through some of these coaching hires what your reaction is to some of this stuff. Go ahead and play that clip, please.
That's what this is about. Jacksonville, the community, Duval. How do we do this together?
He didn't say that right.
No, he really didn't. Creepy the way he said it.
Wrong emphasis on the wrong syllabi.
Yeah, he didn't do that right.
The best part is in the video, his face, he thinks he's nailing it.
No, does he?
Like the smirk, like he's like, yeah. Like he thinks this is going to go viral for all the right reasons.
Yeah, it was a bit sensual the way he said it, I thought.
Let's play that again one more time. I do detect a hint, a dollop of sensual.
That's what this is about. Jacksonville, the community, Duval.
No, you know what?
How do we do this together?
It's a great question. They've been asking it for a lot of years there, buddy.
No, please look at this again. I want you to look at just his face. I'm sorry, audio audience, just look at his face and watch just his eyebrows. And you tell me what kind of confidence this man has.
That's what this is about. Jacksonville, the community, Duval. How do we do this together?
His eyebrows did a roller coaster. Dianna, you saw it.
It was the dance after. It was the shoulder, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shimmying.
The shimmy, like. Look, I hope we look back on this and it's not an Adam Gase moment. We look back on it and go, all right, he didn't nail that, but man, can that guy coach, because he's had quite the dramatic few days. Going, I don't know how much you guys know about how this all came together. I can do it real quick for you in about 40 seconds. But Tampa Bay Bucks wanted to bring him back as an offensive coordinator, made him the highest paid guy. Jacksonville wants to interview him for the head coaching job. They say, go do it. It's good experience. You're a young coach. Sit down with an owner, see what that's like. He comes back. He said, I think they really like me. They're like, oh, they can't like you too much. You need to stay here. You're our OC. You're going to stay here, right? Here's a new deal. We'll give you even more money to stay here. So he's in a win-win situation. He's getting paid a bunch of money to stay as the Tampa Bay Bucks offensive coordinator, coaching Baker Mayfield. And then part of that verbal agreement was you can't interview anymore. Like, it's done. You're here. He goes quiet, goes dark on them, and he takes a flight to Jacksonville and meets with Shad Khan all day long. And then there they decide that you're going to be the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jags. We're going to pay you Ben Johnson type money, a little less than that actually, 5 years, $10 million, and you're going to have control. You have full control.
What is the name of the Jags owner? Can you repeat that, please?
Shad Khan.
All right. Here's how Mad Dog says it.
He got upset at the way Chaka Khan handled it.
The Queen of Funk. I mean.
Okay, so you guys know I grew up listening to Mad Dog, and so I've met him. It's got to be 40 times now, just from being in sports. And, when he joined ESPN, I'd see him in the green room. And we have some great conversations about life and parenting and family. And, he gives me advice when I don't even ask it. So he goes on his show and he's like, there's this woman, Dianna Russini. She's reporting that blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, the guy knows who I am. He talks to me all the time. But it wasn't so much that he botched my name. It was that he had no idea who that person was that was reporting it. And I realized in that moment, I don't think Chris knew what I was doing at ESPN. I think he thought I did makeup. So
Chaka Khan.
We have not gotten Stugatz's thoughts. I am assuming that this is exclusive to God Bless Football on the new Jets hire, but we will get those thoughts after we play. He gave good press conference yesterday, but Stugatz has been beaten up by this franchise. He's heard, it wasn't Al Groh's press conference, but he's heard a lot of press conferences here. He's tired of people who can win the press conference. Look what happened yesterday with Aaron Glenn.
Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Listen, there are going to be some challenges. But with challenges gets opportunity. But here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
Goosebumps?
We're not built for this. I love that Aaron Glenn wants to be the Jets head coach. I love that Aaron Glenn would prefer this be his final job in the NFL. And so in the absence of being able to actually hire a good coach, I'll start with taking a guy who actually wants to be the Jets head coach. And Aaron Glenn gets the area, gets the fan base.
They would all want to be the Jets head coach.
This guy wants to be the Jets head coach for the next 20, 25 years. He does. He wants this to be his last job in the NFL. And I'll take that. That's good enough for me.
Wouldn't say that?
Oh, no one wants to be the Jet head coach. No one dreams of being the New York Jets head coach. Nobody, except for Aaron Glenn. And I'll take it.
You also sneaky called him not a good coach.
I'm not certain he is. I mean, he gave up 45 points at home to the Commanders.
A lot of injuries.
So you're just someone who's willing to accept any coach that is somebody who wants to work for you?
Yeah, someone who wants to be there. Yeah,
Man.
Rex Ryan, Aaron Glenn, we'll take it. It's a starting point, Dan.
All right.
Okay.
Are you allowed to say we're the freaking New York Jets when you haven't won anything in 55 years? I'm just asking.
You can't say that.
Let's play the sound again here because I think we should leave the shit in and bleep out the word before it so it just sounds like he's saying something different.
Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Listen, there are going to be some challenges. But with challenges gets opportunity. But here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
I mean, he is going safety first with the seatbelts. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
We're built for shit. Bleep out the this and leave in the shit. And we're the New York Jets. We're built for shit. Also, put your seatbelts on. What Obama said when he saw that the planes were going to crash.
Got my seatbelt on.
Like, put your seatbelt on. That's a nothing phrase of what's going to happen. Put your seatbelt on. We're going to get into an accident. I'm coaching a team called the Jets.
Usually buckle up hits harder there.
Yeah,
than,
buckle up.
Put your seatbelts on.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Put your seatbelts on.
Strap it on.
It is what a pilot that was going down at sea would say before taking a job. It would put your seatbelts on. I don't know what he's offering us there. We're like,
Chris is right. He messed it up, the phrase. Chris is right. In New York, that's the back page of the New York Post right now. I don't think he meant to say fasten your seatbelts. He meant to say buckle up, we're going to get this thing off the ground and go.
No, but I strapped my seatbelt across my chest there. Where are we going?
Up, you do it aggressively. When you put your seatbelt on, you're fiddling and you're
Right. You got to buckle up in that case.
Let's get some more sound because the things in the NFL, I don't know how much information you feel is coming your way that is too much. The gossip is high now because a lot of people are just sitting around waiting for the football season to end and all they have to do is talk, right?
Yeah, people are pretty gossipy right now, but now that the coaching cycle is wrapping up here, we're just waiting for the Saints to make their hire. The buzz today has really just been Jerry Jones and just the way that press conference went down. I mean, it should be studied because there were so many moments of just awkwardness. There were moments, it was some moments where he was emotional. The whole thing was really weird. And I kept thinking, if I was Brian Schottenheimer, does this owner want me here? Because there was some tone in there where it was kind of, it could be condescending at times. I didn't really get this rah-rah speech from Jerry that made me go, okay, I get it. I get why he went in-house, why he went with the offensive coordinator of the head coach that he fired. Because to me, I don't care what they're trying to sell in Dallas. They did not have a plan. They did not think that this was going to fall apart with Mike McCarthy and that the two sides would go in different directions and that they would be on the market for a head coach. They were not prepared.
Dianna, it is so weird. I don't know. Tell me if I have this wrong, because Lord knows plenty of people talk about the Dallas Cowboys enough. The idea that the Cowboys would have that season and that Mike McCarthy, I don't know how honest he is, talking about like how bothersome it is to be run poorly. But for Mike McCarthy to have his choice of whether or not he went back to work after that season, or for them to be surprised by Mike McCarthy turning them down, like what is being said about how dysfunctional this 80-year-old man bloated on power is running that franchise? Because he's in charge. Mike McCarthy very much worked for Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones, no matter how systemic we think these things are, Jerry Jones is the final call on all things, and his hands are on everything.
Here's something I've learned over the last few weeks about how organizations see themselves. They do not see themselves the way we can see them and criticize. They think everybody wants to be associated with them, including the Jets do. Everyone has this lack of self-awareness because they know there's only 32 of these. They know guys are willing to do whatever it takes. Look at Liam Coen's situation. And by the way, I don't even know where I fall in terms of whether or not I think the way he handled his business was professional or not. This is a cutthroat industry, and you only get a few opportunities. Guys, Bobby Slowick was getting head coach opening opportunities, and he was fired from the Houston Texans last week. Lou Anarumo was the sweetheart of the league after the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, and now he's the Colts defensive coordinator, barely. And I say barely because he had a couple options, but I just think that owners know how hard it is for these coaches to get these jobs, that they simply look at it that way of, you're not good. Mike McCarthy, you're not walking. I'm going to offer you a situation, a deal that's maybe not great, but you have no other options. And I think Mike McCarthy looked at the situation and was like, nah, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want, it's not worth it to me at this point. And so now, he's up for the New Orleans Saints head coaching job. He obviously had some flirting there with the Chicago Bears. So there's a market for Mike McCarthy. And I think Jerry Jones always will believe that there's a market for the Dallas Cowboys.
The Philadelphia Eagles are in the Super Bowl, and we want answers to just one question. How obnoxious has your husband been since?
He's been great, actually. It hasn't been too much. We have a little issue just in our marriage where Kevin can't ever just do anything in silence. He always has a podcast playing.
Right.
And so I definitely have heard way more Philadelphia podcasts. So he's the type, like after they win, he wants to listen to more and more. It's not like when they lose, he doesn't want to watch anything, doesn't want to listen to anything. The more they win,
Does he listen to yours? Does he listen to yours?
Yes, he does. He does. So he gets up around 4. So he usually listens. We drop our show on Tuesday morning and Friday morning. So he listens to that first. But then he'll rip through Russillo's, he'll rip through Birds with Friends, Sheil Kapot. I don't even know what they're called. I just know that it's all Eagles talk. But yeah, no, he's been good.
But how what is his appraisal of your podcast? Because It's very popular, and if he's comparing information, he's not just running around, he's trying to get more informed, right? It's not just celebrating the win. He also wants every dollop of information that he can get. So how does he rank you among the things that he's listening to?
I've asked him that question, actually, because I look at podcasting as it's an honor that people take time knowing how busy everybody is and to put that in the schedule, and he has no reason to I don't make him listen to it. In fact, 90% of the stuff I say on Scoop City every day, I tell him anyways over dinner or, just in casual conversation when we're talking about, stuff I'm reporting. So it's not like it's new intel. I don't know. He must like it. He listens to it. I think there's moments where he wants me to go harder because he knows how much I know about stuff, and I have to hold back because you guys understand the relationships in journalism and trying to protect the people that are giving me this information. So that's really the only stuff he picks on me for. He does get a little sensitive when I criticize some of Jalen's passing game. Like he thinks I go a little too hard. But this last show, I apologized to Nick Sirianni. I looked dead into the camera, picked the mic up right to my mouth, and I said, Nick Sirianni, I thought you stunk as a coach at the start of the season. You were stinky. I thought you were getting fired. I thought you lacked emotional intelligence. I thought he lacked horrible game management. He kind of just seemed like a kid that had the head coaching job, and Howie Roseman was smart enough to give him a bunch of adults around him like Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. But somehow Nick Sirianni has figured out to stay out of the way. So I owe him a really big apology.
But you also told us before anyone else was saying it, when they started the season slow, you told us that you knew them to be one of the good teams playing. I want to ask you this question before the Super Bowl. I don't know how you feel about this. I believe the Eagles are so loaded and at offensive line that in terms of where you'd rank Jalen Hurts on the offense, good at his job, where does he rank number 1 to number 11 on that offense, just good at his job? Jalen Hurts is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5? Like where, because of what Lane Johnson is, for example. Lane Johnson is better at that job than anyone is at that job.
He's probably number 1. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, Lane's number 1 at his job, for sure. Saquon Barkley is number 1. A.J. Brown is number 1. I'd say Jalen's 3. I think the version of Jalen we just saw, that to me, if he can just continue to do that. And we saw him do this on the big stage the last time they went to the Super Bowl. If you guys remember, he was fantastic the last time they went. I had some concerns, though, about his ability to really find those receivers. We saw it. A.J. Brown's reading a book on the sideline because of how frustrated he was in the passing game. So I just think the fact that he was let loose a little bit, and I think Nick Sirianni or Kellen Moore was able to come up with a game plan to sort of take that pressure off Jalen and let him just let loose a little, which is really my bigger concern for them playing the Chiefs. Because I think if any team plays loose in these moments, in the bigger moments, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. I feel like they lean into it. So that's really my concern headed into the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Dianna, thank you for being on with us. We will punctuate this segment by being unfair to the Jets and Aaron Glenn.
Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. Listen, there are going to be some challenges. But with challenges gets opportunity. But here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets. Shit.
Buckle up!
Hey there, wellness warriors. If you're like me, you've given a lot of thought to how to improve your health and wellness routine this year. I've started stretching more, do a little mindfulness and meditation every day, try to clear my mind, make my body feel right. Take your health routine to the next level with the magic of contrast therapy. Meet our new amazing sponsor, Redwood Outdoors. They're making it easy to bring the benefits of saunas and cold plunges right to your backyard. A Redwood Outdoors backyard sauna seats 2 to 8 people, where you can relax, unwind, and enjoy all the benefits like reduced muscle tension, improved sleep, and glowing skin. And it doesn't stop there. Redwood Outdoors' invigorating cold plunge helps to boost circulation, sharpen your focus, and leave you feeling absolutely revitalized. Whether it's detoxing deeper, reducing inflammation, or connecting with loved ones in moments of peace, Redwood Outdoors has you covered. Enhance your physical and mental wellness routines with Redwood Outdoors. Take advantage of special savings today. Visit redwoodoutdoors.com. Use code DAN to save $175. That's redwoodoutdoors.com. Code DAN to save $175 on your order. redwoodoutdoors.com. Code DAN.
Hey, howdy, listener. Why don't you sit down here next to me? Let's have a fireside conversation in the winter. This is all theater of the mind anyways. If weather outside is a little chilly, let's warm up. Let's cozy up. Not just to each other, but also to that beautiful white can of Miller Lite. That's right. Make these moments even better with Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer. A new year is a perfect time for friends, family, and great tasting light beer. Tastes like Miller time. You know, as the football games get bigger, everybody's talking about hosting parties. It's always difficult. Everyone's got an opinion. Why don't you just bring out a nice cooler of Miller Lights and make everybody happy? You could be on opposite sides of the big game, but you still know that you are brought together by Miller time. Miller Lite is a great unifier. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. The original light beer since 1975 and still the very best one. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.